Ooh, isn't that nice? Now, I know in my Gary Steelhead's video, I said I saw between 10 and 12 games that first season, and I only have six from that first season. So I'm going to scale down my estimate maybe to about 8 or 10 because I know I saw more than six games. I didn't necessarily keep all the tickets, but uh, nice. Hey, greetings from Gary. This is Sam Love, the incomplete set collector. I've been going through some ticket stubs. I found a bunch of them in a book I was reading, and I thought I'd just pull them all together and see where I've been over the past 25 or so years. So, give a like, hit subscribe, leave some comments, stick around. We're going to go through all these. Hope you're doing well out there. This is the incomplete set collector. All right, let's see what we got in here. You might hear a bit of rain tonight, too. It's been doing that off and on. Oops. All right, first thing, let's see what we got here. Yeah, so 2006, Steelheads, 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 Steelheads. I told you I went to a bunch of these games. Oh, here we go. Cook County Cheetahs and Evansville Otters, 2002. We got Cubs, New York Mets, 01. Oh, look at that. Yeah. White Sox and Anaheim 1998. Good guys wear black. Looks like we were sitting in section 328, $26. Huh. Wonder where we got that money from. Yeah, 2000, $10. There you go, upper deck. It's more like it. And then 2001. Cubs. Yeah, more Cubs. We'll put the Cubs over here. Oh, yeah, there can be a lot of South Bend Silverhawks too, I imagine. What you got here? Cubs and Rockies, 1999, $25. Oh, actually, you know, I think this. I have to check into this. I think this is the night I almost got thrown out for hucking an empty beer glass onto the field. People were trashing the field, which you just don't see at games anymore. All right. 2002, and I have no idea whose autograph that is. I really don't. 2002 in the afternoon. I think I went with my boss. I was working for a photographer. Yeah, that's when that was. I'm pretty sure. 2000 upper deck, $15. They dropped the price at some point. Yikes, Bill Moore. That was funny. That's this 2003, $8. Here you go. This is probably one of the oldest ones. 1990, July 25th. They played the Indians at Comiskey Park. This was the last season at the old stadium, and it was $7.50. Section 116. That's amazing. We got these tickets from the next door neighbor of the head coach. I remember that. And we had to leave the Gary area really early in the morning, and I wanted to sleep the whole time. But I'm glad I went, though. It was fun. I like football. Pacers, 1997. I don't know what brought me to that. I think my sister she was on the Purdue Palm squad, so I think they were dancing or performing at halftime. So I think that's why I went to that one. Oh, Railcats. This is... that looks like it's a receipt. 2013. That's not that old. Fan Pass. What is this from? 2014. Pitchfork. I remember going to the Pitchfork. It was so hot. Oh, yeah. I like the Intonation Festival better. That was more fun. What we got here? Silverhawks. They changed the name of the field. It used to be Hawkinson. That was the Crestwood. No, it used to be Stanley Kovaleski Regional Stadium. He was an old spitball pitcher who ran a gas station in the South Bend area for a long time until his death. They're a Cubs affiliate now. Back then they were Diamondbacks when I'd be going. Intonation, as I just said. That was a fun show, man. I'll tell a quick story about this. Blue Cheer was playing, the old psychedelic band, and this dude standing next to me, it looked like he hadn't been to a concert since Blue Cheer broke up, and like probably in his mid 50s, Center Park, typical Chicago dude. And somebody started passing a joint around, and when I passed it to him, his eyes lit up. Oh, he was so happy. He took the biggest toke you could imagine. I remember going to this game, Joliet. Their stadium is very similar to the Gary Railcat Stadium, but opened earlier. So I remember going to this. It was really gray that day. I hung out in Chicago that day too. What do we got here? Oh, the Michigan Battle Cats. Yeah, I drove all the way to Battle Creek just to watch this game. I had nothing else to do. I didn't mind going to something by myself if nobody else was interested. Because what are you going to do, sit around? Oh, you know what? Two of them. These are two of the worst live shows I've ever seen. She was hideous. I liked her early albums, but she didn't give a shit. No energy, flat, just, yeah, ugh. Put those over there. Oh, this was when I was visiting some family in Arizona. This is a nice stadium, I remember that. The Oscar, this is from when I was in high school. I remember the place kicker of our high school football team was there, and he was smoking a joint. We moshed him. That was fun. Oh, here, George Thorogood and the Destroyers. I went with my dad and our Greek buddies. This was actually a great show. The audience loved him, and he loved them back. That was like some of the best vibes I've ever seen. And for those of you who don't know, I was like at a live show once a week in the 90s. I played in a band, so yeah, I've been to a lot of shows. And it's strange for me to say that George Thorogood was one of the most like best vibe shows I've ever seen. What do we got here? Oh, 1995. I remember somebody must have paid for these. I didn't want to go because, the strike had happened and I was really not interested in baseball. But I have photos from this still, and I'm glad I went. So that was a lot of fun. Now this is just illegible. Yeah, I have no idea what that is. Let's see, what else we got here? Let me grab this big old chunk. Oh, the Cubs convention. Yeah, that was cool. We got a bunch of autographs. There. Oh, my road trip I took to the West. I met Buck O'Neill this day, and I caught a batting practice home run. So this was amazing. $15. Great deal. Beautiful stadium. Kauffman Stadium. Running out of room here. Put that there. Right here. More White Sox, 2004. We splurged that day. I was living in Bridgeport at the time. Yeah, see, usually what I would do is Monday and Tuesday games were half price. And back then, they didn't care. You could go sit in the upper deck, and after a few innings, you could sit anywhere really empty. Intonation Festival again. Yeah, more steel yard tickets, 2004. 2005, the big year. I had moved out of the neighborhood when they won. Doesn't that figure? We got here. More 2005. Oh, here's a relic. 1999. Yeah, I went with my buddy Murph. Here's some. Still got it in the envelope. What's this? Real Cats from just a couple of years ago. Huh, maybe I'll put all of them in. It's fun. This was the Hurricane game. Cool. Great rivalry. Yeah, a lot. You're going to see a lot of those. The Lansing Lug. Oh, God. When did I go to? I feel like when you go to the Kane County game, if you don't have a baby with you or a small child, you're the odd person out. I remember that. That's a real bland stadium. I got here hockey. We used to, me and my folks and the Greek friends of ours would catch the games. Those were really pricey. They had some kind of plan for those. But that's a nice, beautiful. My mother hated hockey for the longest time, but she'd still go with us. So that was cool. What is this? 2005. Oh, I didn't even know they were playing the Nationals. That's cool. What we got here? Rail Cat. In Dusty We Trusty. It's upside down. Oh, Charleston. This was fun. The game ended up not being played because the light rig stopped working. It was so hot and humid. I had to shower like 3 times a day when I was there, but that was a beautiful city. And a real fun, friendly game. The Swing of the Quad Cities. I remember went to this, my dad, my dad. It was fun. He was taking a motorcycle trip, and I just decided to drive out and meet him there and catch a game. Beautiful old ballpark on the Mississippi River. More Cubbies. My first Cubs. Oh, this is beautiful. 2006. I don't even remember going. Some of these might be my dad just giving them to me, but yeah, we always went to tons of games. First game I ever went to was 1986. Oh, hockey. They had a great theme song, too. T-Town Hockey. I forget the name of the band, but go look them up. That's great. This was so much fun. Crosby, Stills, and Nash on their Live It Up tour, which is a terrible album. This was a fun show. I remember some long-haired guy looking like he was going to throw up on us. He was standing behind us. He did not. Oh, the Tennessee Smoky. All right, not trying to be a bad influence, but I was drunk as a skunk this game, and this was like the only minor league game that in this era that I didn't score or pay attention to. Been on a road trip. A bunch of my friends and I had met up. It's like really tired from the trip, and this felt like a mall. It was a weird. I don't remember anything about the game, but I remember there was a Campground of America in the outfield, and there was like a restaurant, sports bar in the stadium. So we just sat in there. It was probably hotter than hell. We sat in there. South Bend Silverhawks. The Monday night games were $1. That was wonderful. What do we got here? White Sox. Oh, that was my birthday. June 16th. 26 then. What do we got here? White Sox and Dodgers. Oh. Yeah, Cubs and... Oh, God, this would have been madness. Sometimes they call Miller Park, I don't know what they call it now, but they used to call it Wrigley North. Oh, this was fun. Buck O'Neill was in Gary this day. I remember that. It was packed. Great game. Ooh, went for the big seats that day. Somebody else must have paid. We got here 2005. Yeah, my dad and our Greek buddies get a little ticket package. Oh, I remember this. This was fun. This was part of a little road trip. Louisville's a cool city. Hi to my friend Felicia down there. My old drinking buddy from Chicago. Oh, look at this. This game did not happen. That's something, isn't it? Oh, this was fun. The Evansville Otters, who have a stadium. I think it's a little bit older than Wrigley. So, yeah, I've been to that stadium, Wrigley, and then Fenway. My Fenway ticket's somewhere else. I don't think it's in here. But 3 of the oldest existing parks. Oh, this was great. Tom Verlaine from television played at the Double Door, which no longer exists. Put music over there. You know, I had forgotten I'd seen this. Yeah, it's kind of like a rite of passage if you ever lived in Chicago, I suppose. Well, they don't do it now. Nothing happens now. What do we got here? 2, 5, 4. Lots of Cubs games in those days. We'd get ticket upgrades and usually sit a lot closer. I did not go to a Durham Bulls game. I found this on the ground. I got to visit the old stadium, too. They let me walk around. Oh, this was fun. Me and my buddy went. He needed a little vacation. And I'm so glad I got to see one of the concrete donuts. It was better than I thought. It was so red in there. The fans were obviously really into it. And I liked the arches up near the top. So, yeah, this was a lot of fun. Oh, that's the Johnny Cash movie. Kalamazoo Kings, the old Frontier League. Well, the Frontier League's still around. I should say the old Kalamazoo Kings. They're not around anymore. They played the Cook County Cheetahs, who play in Crestwood. They're in the Windy City Thunderbolts now. And, yeah, you're going to see a bunch of cheetahs. Close, really inexpensive. Oh, I can't tell when that was. More White Sox here, 2001. Again, those half-price nights, those were the best. I was visiting my aunt probably around the same time as the Tucson game. Let's see. It was August, and it was July. Yeah, I was visiting. Here's my Boston ticket. Very cool. This was the first time I ever saw a beer that cost more than $5. I mean, Wrigley beers at the time were like $3.50. That blew my mind. Yeah, glad I got to make it to Fenway. Very cool. I'll put that there. I was just about to move up to the city by this point. Yeah. Oh, we saw the Frontier League All-Star game. That'd be fun. Yeah, it was an extra in a film with one of their employees at one point. Purdue game. You know what's great about Purdue football? They play at Ross-Ade Stadium, which is half named after a writer. I think that's fantastic. I'm a football fan. A lot of people kind of take that by surprise, but I've been a fan of football since probably, well, the Bears, obviously, the '85 Bears. This might have been the game where people started chanting F New York, F New York, and we were playing Boston. We were sitting in are these the bleachers? Lower deck field left? Yep. My mom was there. She was horrified. Oh, everybody was rowdy. She was game. What do we got here? 2002, a little fancier seat there. Playing Cleveland. You got the Silverhawks again. More Silverhawks. Yeah, Monday. Those were the dollar games. So, see, Kovaleski Stadium. So we'd pack in as a family, get some friends, go out there, dollar beer, dollar dogs, dollar ticket. And if they were playing the Fort Wayne Wizards, there was this guy named Jerry who was a super fan, and he was hilarious. I've tried looking him up online and just have not found anything. So I'll probably tag the team in this. Maybe y'all can help me. Oh, here we go. So I caught a couple of Diamondbacks games when I was out there, and then evidently I was out in Arizona again. That's cool. You know, the Diamondback Stadium was very similar to the Milwaukee Stadium in terms of look and feel. Oh, here we go. Another Steelheads. Oh, they're buried. I've made a mess. I don't even know what I've gone through and what I haven't. What do we got here? Oh, Indianapolis. God, this game went on forever. No, wait. Couldn't have been, because 1 p.m. and that's... Well, I remember going to one game that went on like 16 innings into the night, and I stayed the whole thing. I was very drunk. We got here more lots of White Sox. The Greensboro Bats. Oh, you know, I got a baseball. This is another cool old stadium. And I got a baseball. They flew out of that little park, and a lot of people's cars got their windshields cracked. And I found one sitting in a pile of glass, but there was no car around it, so I felt like it was cool to take it. Oh, man, I remember this. This was cool. Arizona Diamondbacks played their low-A Midwest League club, the South Bend Silverhawks. And as you can see, we had really great seats, just a couple rows behind the Diamondbacks dugout. And at one point, my mom was on the phone with her sister in Arizona, and she handed the phone to Bob Brenly, who started chatting up my aunt. Good thing we got the phone back, eh? No, that was a good game. There you go. Look at that Shaw. Hell yeah. Look at that date. Right before, the week before. Yeah, I was doing a lot of baseball at the time. You know, I was working for a photographer. I was still living at home, so I had plenty of money. And then this was the playoff game, just a few days before September 11th. Oh, there, I'm putting those there. Here you go, playing Dayton. Again, a lot of South Bend. Monday night, $1. Huh. Did I make a second trip to Kalamazoo? Evidently I did. I made 2 of them. That's nice. I like these little tickets like that. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This... Chillicothe, Ohio, a tiny little town with a paper mill. The wind's blowing the wrong way. My God, does it stink. But this was a great game. I got kind of adopted by 3 old ladies who were super fans. I was on a road trip. This is the same one where I went to Durham and Greensboro and Charleston. So I stopped in Chillicothe, Ohio, which is I've been through that town about 4 times now. 4 or 5 times since then. And it's a nice little place, actually. If the wind's blowing the right way. Capital City, Columbia, South Carolina. God, it was so hot and humid. I remember having the windows open and having to run the air to keep the windshield from fogging up. And the White Sox. I dropped a rather chintzy looking Cubs ticket. These might be the ticket upgrades. And we get real good seats there. Here's another Steelheads. That looks like we got a few more. A lot of Steelheads games. Oh, this was at UIC. So a funny story with this one. I ordered some hot links to eat. And the vendor was like, "You're not going to get nothing to drink?" I was like, "I don't need nothing to drink." He said, "No, they're hot links." And then, so now it's an ego thing. And I was like, "Tell you what, I'm going to eat 2 hot links and then I'll come back and buy a drink." And he thought I was crazy, but I did. And he gave me a hug. I remember that. I think I still had to pay for the drink, though. Oh, this was another old stadium. I think this was a WPA stadium in Richmond, Indiana, which is right near the Ohio line, just due east of Indianapolis. And it's a Frontier League game. That was a fun experience. They limited, you could only have 3 beers, and they put a mark on your hand. So that was a sober night. The hotel in Richmond I stayed at, the fella asked me, he goes, "Do you want it for the night or for a couple hours?" Oh, shit. Yikes. This was probably the long game. It was an evening game, went on about 16 innings. I was really drunk, and then I was walking back to the hotel. I was walking, not driving. I was walking back to my downtown hotel, pissing off all the squares. More Cubbies. Lots of Cubbies and Brewers. Those were fun back then. What's this? Robert Morris, Mackey. Oh, basketball. Yeah, 2001. I remember going with my dad. And again, another football game. My sister, I mentioned, was on the Purdue dance team, so I'd usually try to go to 1 or 2 games a year. It was kind of early in the morning for me to be making that drive. It's about an hour and a half to Lafayette. Oh, this was on my road trip where, after Kansas City, saw a game in Colorado. That was really cool. South Bend. Man, we'd even go when it wasn't $1. Aha, the Dixie Chicks. This is a great tour. I paid some money for that one, too. I support people with good politics. If you don't like the Dixie Chicks, seriously, go to hell. Go watch another video. Joliet Jackhammers. I think this was the debut season at the Railcat Stadium. Twins, again, the winning season. Just go back and forth from Railcats to Cubs. He's the same. Yeah. That was a fun game. People at the Quad City would stand on the Mississippi River Bridge and watch. I've walked over that bridge. It's terrifying. Again, the Cook County Cheetahs. I don't even know. My piles are a mess. Oh, more Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Yeah, Race Car was a local ska punk band that I eventually joined a different version of that. We were at the Metro so often, and my good buddy Kelechuku Brenfrey was a bouncer there, so I got a lot of free shows. Pitchfork, that was not free. Dalai Lama, 2007 downtown. More football. What do we see this day? Oh, against the Yankees. I scored a lot of these games. There we go. Look at that. Commemorative ticket. May 26, 2003. The stadium opened a year after it was supposed to. It's the most expensive minor league stadium per seat in the country. And the Gary locals were not at all happy about its construction. We'll see what happens with these economic and biological issues going on. More Monday Night Fun. 2004. Oh, that was the week after. Yeah, we were coming in from the suburbs then. Oh, the Michael Jackson movie. That was really good. I remember that. I went with my girlfriend Crystal. White Sox. Blackhawks. There's the White Sox interleague game. Oh, this was last year. As was this. Took my dad to see Taj Mahal. It was my way of paying him back for all the cool stuff he took me to. So We've seen Kevmo twice. We saw him up in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Really great blues singer. And I remember going with my friend Jillian to this, the Mexican Fine Arts Museum in Pilsen in Chicago. Really great museum. Free. That's why. All right, finishing up again last year. We get pretty good seats because we get them from my wife's boss. Oh yeah, I went up. It was right before I moved up. I was doing an orientation for graduate school. This was 2 years ago. I don't think we went last year. Let me go to a couple. You know, that's always a fun spur of the moment thing to do. Oh, Clinton. That was fun. Oh no, we saw this in Beloit. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was chilly. They're getting a new stadium, and the funniest thing I remember is the wife of the manager was there, and she was had a very like New York Jew energy about her, and she totally did not fit in with anybody else, which was cool because neither did we. But her underwear was sticking out the whole time. Oh, this was so much fun. This was in Pennsylvania. I think this was the last game of their season. Again, this was a Frontier League, and we got a doormat. That was great. Oh, God, this game. This game was amazing. This was one of the best minor league games I've ever seen in terms of quality of play. It was a close game. The home team won, and the fans were just in it till the bitter end. Oh, so much energy. It was one of those late victories, too. This was a blast, and I finally made it to a Mud Hens game. I never made it to the original stadium, but we got these as a gift from my sister and brother-in-law, so that's really awesome. Did I get through all this mess here? I got to sort this stuff out. Oh, I'm not going to make you watch all that, but thanks for watching with me. Let's see. Cubs, sock. Oh, yeah. I've been to a few more Sox games. Hey, it's closer. It was cheaper. How could you throw those little works of art away? Although I suppose if you were a diehard White Sox fan, you may have an answer there. Now, how could you throw those little works of art away? Although I hear some of you partisan Cubs fans out there. You know, I got to hand it to the teams that actually personalize their tickets just a little bit. I mean, maybe it's just a logo or an insignia or design or some interesting colors, but it sure beats the hell out of the Ticketmaster uniformity, doesn't it? That's just so small town Hoosier to me right there, you know? The way it's supposed to be. Hey, that's much better. I'm getting my little dopamine release now from getting these so nicely organized. Got baseball, football, basketball, hockey, and entertainment. So, hey, that was a lot of fun. It was a nice trip down memory lane. Wow, I've seen a lot of baseball. And worth every penny and every minute, definitely. Hope you're doing well out there. Y'all take care. Be safe out there. Catch you next time with another episode of The Incomplete Set Collector. I'm Sam Love. Take care. Catch me on Twitter at 2020 Suspended.